Now we're heading to Beaufort, South Carolina, and as opposed to Beaufort, North Carolina, we're heading up to Beaufort, South Carolina. So we're just in Georgia for a short time. So heading up to Beaufort, South Carolina. Not sure if we have a marina or if we're going to be anchoring out. We won't know until we get there. So the fun on the road with Horizon Bound. Off to Beaufort. Okay, it doesn't look like Mike's gonna make it. This is why we were waiting for the tide to drop a little bit so Viva La Vida could get under this bridge. He's trying, and we're not quite sure he's going to make it. We might have to back out. Okay, they aborted the mission. We're going to wait out here. We came back in. We're sitting at a dock here. We have about another hour. We're going to wait it out, make sure that water goes down a little more so Viva La Vida can get under the bridge. Life on a boat. We are going through now. There's Viva La Vida. They did make it through. We waited about 45 minutes, and here we go. There is the board. And now we're going under the bridge, heading to Beaufort.
So here we are in the Hilton Head area on our way to Beaufort, South Carolina. Here are some undoubtedly pretty high-end condos and the biggest marina we've seen in a while. Getting close to Beaufort, South Carolina now, and we are passing Paris Island, where if you look at the water tower, we make marines.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Beaufort, South Carolina was founded in 1711, and it's on Port Royal Island here in SC, as I'm going to call it. It's pronounced Beaufort. There is the same spelling in North Carolina, and I believe that's pronounced Beaufort. Please excuse my pronunciations if they are incorrect, but I believe that's what it is. So we just got the call that they are ready to come in. We're ready to come in, so here we go. We just docked in Beaufort, South Carolina. There's our boat right there. There's Horizon Bound. We're at the big boat dock. Woo! Captain Dan, if you can see him, he's hosing off the boat, and I'm going to check out the facilities. All right, they have carriage tours here, and this is right at the marina. We will be partaking in this hopefully tomorrow. But that's Link and Kirsten, and if you get a good look, Link has a hat on. Hi, Link. Oh, he knows how to pose. Here we are in Beaufort, getting ready to do a self-guided walking tour. And Beaufort is the second oldest city in South Carolina.
The sign says.
I believe in 1711 it was founded. So it's been through many, many changes and lots of history here.
There's a lot of history here.
Yeah. Beaufort, you ready to do some walking? Beaufort? Being Beaufort? I don't know. Beaufort. I like that name, Beaufort. We're walking along Bay Street here, and one of the many features of Beaufort, South Carolina, is their antebellum homes. And of course, this is right looking over the water, and antebellum means a lot of the columns, Greek Revival, evenly spaced windows, and usually very elaborate friezes, that artwork like over an archway. So that is very well known here on these mansions, just like ours.
Okay, this is St. Helena's Church. It's one of the oldest in the country. built in, I think, 1712.
Yeah.
And during this revolution, the British stabled some horses here. And during the Civil War, it was used as a hospital. And there are a couple of British officers buried here and 3 American generals.
Wow, it's pretty old.
Pretty
Do you remember when it
interesting
was
place.
built?
And, you know, it was down the street. I was having an ice cream cone watching them.
Nice. Colonel John Barnwell, also known as Tuscarora or Jack during the Indian War, the Tuscaroras are harbor dockhands' ancestor. This is Robert Smalls. Robert Smalls was a slave, and in Beaufort, South Carolina, he became a crew member on the Southern Confederate gunboat called Planter. He was a crewman there. Well, he led the crew into commandeering the boat. And then he kind of gave it to the Union. So he was a freed slave, he and his crew, under his command. He later became a politician, and under his guidance, he persuaded Abraham Lincoln to have African Americans in the Union Army. Robert Smalls, his statue here at the Baptist Church, and he's buried here as well. Standing behind me, to all you Civil War history buffs, this is known as the Secession House, or the Rhett House. The Secession House in the 1840s, 2 brothers lived here, politicians, lawyers, types, and they had the very first informal meetings and talks with others about South Carolina rights, state rights, and seceding from the United States of America. The story goes, those beginning meetings then were sent to Charleston. Charleston said, yeah, let's do it! And that's when they seceded. You know I love history. This is called the Castle. It was the Joseph Johnson House, built in 1860. Moved in and was overtaken by the Union soldiers right away, used as a hospital. It was a primary hospital for the Union African American regiments. Notable patients included Sergeant William Carney, first African American recipient of the Medal of Honor, and Sergeant Lewis Douglas, Frederick Douglass's son, and guess who worked here? Clara Barton and Harriet Tubman. So awesome. That's really cool. So it's called the Castle. It's private residence.
Well, if you saw the movie The Big Chill or The Great Santini, you got a better look at this house here. It's the Robert Fripp house, also later called Tidal Home, but it was the location for almost all of the filming of The Big Chill and a big portion of The Great Santini with Robert Duvall.
Reconstruction National Historical Park was established in January of 2017 to tell the story of what's called the Reconstruction era everywhere in the United States.
Okay, this is the Lewis Sam's house. Yet another house here in Beaufort that was used as a hospital at one time during the Civil War by the Union when they took it back over. And also this house was another one in a movie. It was in the film Prince of Tides.
And we met one of the Sam's ancestors. Actually, 2 of them. Pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of history here in Beaufort. Just kind of have to say it that way, Beaufort.
This is the bridge that they used in Forrest Gump. Right there. Right at about this spot, from what I can look at from watching the film and kind of queuing it up frame by frame, is where about Tom Hanks was standing when he had the long beard and the baseball cap in Forrest Gump, and he was running and running, and all the reporters were sticking their microphones in his mouth, and somebody said, I'll reenact it for you now. Why are you doing it, Forrest? I just felt like running. Who knew? Oh, what a goof. Run, Forrest, run!
And when we leave here tomorrow, we'll be going under this bridge. I think we better check and make sure this cannon is not loaded. Yeah, it looks okay to me.
All right, here we go. Let's
Okay.
go walk and learn and grow our brains.
Maybe we can find is it a Checkers where you get the big Beaufort burgers? Something like that.
Yeah, they're sponsoring us.
I wish.
And here's a cannon. Ba-choom! Oh, that wasn't a cannon sound. Boom!
Boom.
Boom.
Kind of like boom.
Boom. Boom!
Word is boom.
Okay, Dan's saying the word is another word. I say it properly. Let us know who says it properly below. Boom! Or at least more excitedly.